The sky above Earth was a deep, heavy gray, as if the planet itself held its breath. Cities, once alive with lights and voices, now lay eerily silent. Even the usual hum of traffic seemed to vanish into a strange emptiness. People stepped outside, staring at the sky, confusion and fear mixing in their eyes. Nothing had prepared humanity for this silence. Dr. Elena Vargas, a physicist working at the International Space Observatory, sat frozen at her console. The screens were filled with data, numbers, and images she had learned to trust, but now they screamed of something impossible. Every communication satellite in orbit had gone dark. Every radio transmission, every signal humanity had sent and received for decades, had stopped. The world was alone. "Elena, do you see this?" Her assistant, Malik, whispered, voice trembling. She nodded, not trusting her own words. On the main monitor, a strange pattern had appeared. A wave of energy, black and blinding, spread from the edge of the solar system toward Earth. It moved faster than anything they had ever recorded. No planet, no asteroid, no human weapon could match its speed. Outside, people were panicking. Cars honked endlessly as traffic jammed. Helicopters circled above, but even their radios were silent. Governments tried to communicate, but nothing worked. It was as if the Earth had been cut off from the universe itself. And yet, those who looked up at the sky saw something even more terrifying. From the darkness beyond Mars, a massive shadow approached. Ships, gigantic, black, and alien, glided silently across the void. They did not look like anything humanity had built or imagined. Their shapes were asymmetrical, unnatural, yet oddly beautiful, reflecting the dim light of the sun like polished obsidian. People froze, staring in disbelief, their minds refusing to accept the reality of what they were seeing. Dr. Vargas remembered the simulations she had run at the lab. They had warned of cosmic phenomena, yes, but never of intelligent machines or alien fleets moving with such precision. Her heart raced. "We're not just being observed," she said quietly. "They're coming. And they're not friendly." In New York, Liam Carter, a former soldier now working as a security consultant, ran to the streets with his binoculars. He had seen threats before, wars on Earth, rogue satellites, even meteor showers, but nothing like this. His instincts screamed danger. The entire city felt like it was holding its breath, waiting for the inevitable. Meanwhile, across the Atlantic, scientists in Europe tried to send messages to the fleet. They typed frantic warnings into computers, into satellites, into any device that could carry a signal. All their attempts were met with silence. Then, a strange echo appeared on some screens, a message in a language no human could understand. Shapes of letters and symbols flashed across the screens, moving too fast to read, yet carrying a sense of absolute authority. Elena felt a chill. "It's a warning," she whispered, though her mind screamed at the absurdity. Could a message like this be a threat? Or a test? Her fingers hovered over the emergency protocol buttons, unsure if they even mattered anymore. At night, the sky was alive with motion. Strange lights blinked, hovered, and darted across continents. People reported hearing low hums, vibrations deep in the ground, as if Earth itself was resonating with the presence above. Rumors spread like wildfire. Some said it was an alien invasion, others claimed the end of days had arrived. Governments issued calm statements, but their faces betrayed the truth. They were as terrified as everyone else. Back at the observatory, Elena and Malik worked in silence. Each piece of data they analyzed painted a picture of destruction and inevitability. The wave of energy would reach Earth soon, and whatever came with it could annihilate the planet, or worse. And yet, there was a glimmer of hope, a faint anomaly in the pattern, a tiny irregularity that might mean they could survive. But there was no time to plan. Every second counted. As the first alien ships entered Earth's orbit, the sky lit up with an unnatural glow. Satellites exploded one by one, meteor-like flashes raining across cities. Panic turned into chaos. People ran through empty streets, screaming, hiding, hoping against hope. And in that moment, humanity realized the terrible truth. The galaxy had noticed Earth, and it was not coming in peace. Elena's hands shook as she typed a final note into her system, recording everything she saw. If this was the end, at least someone would know what had happened. Malik looked at her, eyes wide. "Do we fight?" he asked. Elena didn't answer. There were no weapons capable of stopping this. Not yet. But maybe, just maybe, the humans could find a way to survive. And as the first beam of energy struck the atmosphere, the Earth fell silent. The morning after the first strike, the Earth was scarred but not destroyed. Cities smoldered in places, but somehow, humanity had survived the initial blow. People walked among debris, staring at the sky with fear and disbelief. The alien ships hovered above, silent and massive, like shadows frozen in the sun. No one dared move too fast, speak too loudly, or do anything that might attract their attention. Dr. Elena Vargas stared at the monitors in the observatory, exhausted but determined. The anomaly she had noticed before was still there, a tiny flicker in the alien energy wave. It was faint, almost invisible, but it suggested that the alien fleet was not flawless. If she could understand it, maybe humanity had a chance. "Do you think they understand us?" Malik asked, his voice barely above a whisper. Elena shook her head. "I don't know. But whatever they are organized. Precise. And they're waiting. Watching." Meanwhile, Liam Carter patrolled the streets of New York, coordinating small groups of civilians. Soldiers and police forces were in shock, but Liam's experience kept him moving. He had seen fear before, but this was something different. This was the kind of fear that could paralyze entire nations. From orbit, the alien fleet released smaller vessels. They moved like swarms of dark, metallic insects, scanning cities, analyzing structures, and, occasionally, leaving areas untouched. Liam and Elena both noticed the pattern. The aliens were not randomly destroying everything. They were evaluating humanity, studying it. In Tokyo, people gathered on rooftops to witness the spectacle. Entire families clung together, some whispering prayers, others silently recording the event on their phones. News anchors struggled to report what they saw, but their voices trembled as the swarm passed over the city. Elena and Malik focused on the anomaly. It pulsed rhythmically, like a heartbeat. "It's communication," Elena said suddenly. "They're sending a message, or maybe receiving one." Malik leaned closer, watching as lines of symbols flickered across the screen. "Can we reply?" he asked. Elena hesitated. "If we respond wrong, it could be the end." Governments tried diplomacy, sending messages to the ships, but all attempts failed. Only a few computers detected the flickering pattern Elena had noticed. Scientists worldwide now had one mission: understand the signal. Failure was not an option. As night fell, the alien fleet shifted position. Massive shadows blocked the moonlight, and a strange hum resonated through the air. People reported feeling vibrations in the ground, their hearts sinking with the rhythm of the alien vessels above. Panic erupted as some mistook the hum for an earthquake, while others saw it as a sign of impending doom. Elena realized something terrifying: the anomaly wasn't random. It responded to thought and observation. The aliens were testing human reactions. "They are learning," she whispered. "They are learning how we think, how we fear." In Europe, Liam joined a group of volunteers trying to protect civilians from smaller attacks. Explosions from alien energy pulses shook the streets, but no one was truly killed yet. It was clear the aliens could destroy the planet any time, but they weren't doing it, at least, not yet. Then, something unexpected happened. A small vessel detached from the main fleet and hovered above Elena's observatory. Its surface shimmered like liquid metal. A beam of light scanned the building, and for a brief moment, Elena saw shapes moving inside. Figures not entirely human, not entirely machine. Then the light vanished, leaving only silence and the faint pulse of the anomaly. "Elena, what do we do?" Malik asked, trembling. She took a deep breath, her mind racing. "We survive. And we learn. That is our only chance." In the streets below, civilians clutched each other, unsure if the alien fleet would strike again. News feeds across the world reported similar events: hovering vessels, strange lights, and the hum that had become the soundtrack of fear. Humanity had never felt so small, so powerless. Yet, even in the shadow of annihilation, something stirred. Humans were beginning to organize, to think, to plan. Liam coordinated defenses. Scientists analyzed the signals. Ordinary people discovered courage they never knew they had. The alien fleet may have been unstoppable, but the human spirit was not so easily defeated. And then, as the night deepened, the anomaly pulsed brighter than ever. A message, clearer than before, flashed across Elena's screen. It was not words. It was not numbers. But its meaning was terrifyingly simple. Prepare to prove your worth. The alien message echoed across every screen in the observatory. Prepare to prove your worth. Elena stared at it, her mind racing. What did it mean? Prove worth. Was it a test? Or a threat? Malik paced the room, trying to calm himself but failing. Outside, the world reacted in a mix of panic and determination. Cities were no longer frozen in fear. People had begun to fight for survival in any way they could. Governments worldwide declared emergency protocols, but their plans felt meaningless against an enemy that moved faster than thought, appeared out of nowhere, and could destroy the planet in minutes. Liam Carter took charge in New York. Using his military training, he organized teams of volunteers to monitor alien activity. Scouts were sent to rooftops and high points to observe the fleet. Each small group reported patterns. The alien vessels moved in careful coordination, as if performing some grand experiment. They destroyed nothing unless provoked, yet their presence alone struck terror into hearts. In the observatory, Elena and Malik worked day and night to decode the alien signal. The anomaly pulsed with increasing intensity, responding to human observation. Elena realized that the aliens could read patterns of thought, or at least detect them. Every fear, every attempt at communication, every strategic plan, was visible to the fleet. A sudden alert made the room shiver. A massive ship had descended over the Pacific Ocean, larger than any city. Its hull reflected the clouds like black glass, and enormous lights scanned the water and sky. Ships smaller than cities swarmed around it, performing intricate movements. It was clear the alien fleet's focus had shifted. Earth itself was a laboratory. Elena whispered to Malik. They are testing us. Watching how we react. They want to see what humanity can do. Malik swallowed hard. But why? Why us? The first confrontation came sooner than anyone expected. In Tokyo, a small alien vessel approached a group of civilians who had taken shelter near a school. A low hum vibrated through the air. People froze. Then, with terrifying precision, the vessel fired a beam of energy into the sky. No one was hit, but the force threw cars and debris around. The message was clear. The aliens could destroy instantly. They were teaching fear. Liam received reports of similar incidents worldwide. No human had died yet, but the aliens had demonstrated their power unmistakably. Liam gathered his team in New York, speaking with authority. We have to show them we are more than prey. We have to act smart, stay calm, and find a way to communicate. Back at the observatory, Elena's breakthrough came unexpectedly. By carefully observing the pulses of the anomaly and mimicking the rhythm with computers, she managed to send a simple response, a pattern of light that mirrored the alien signal. For a moment, nothing happened. Then, the anomaly flickered brighter, almost as if the fleet was acknowledging them. Excitement and fear collided in Elena's mind. They had caught the attention of the aliens, but would that save them or doom them? Malik's voice trembled as he asked, "Do you think it worked?" Elena shook her head, unsure. "It's impossible to know. But it's the only chance we have." Across the world, humans experimented with other forms of contact. Lights flashed in unison, strange sounds were emitted, and small drones moved in coordinated patterns. Everywhere, humanity was trying to speak in the only language that might reach the aliens: intelligence and adaptation. Then came the test. A beam of light appeared over London, scanning the city. Citizens watched in silence. The humans had done everything right, evacuated, stayed calm, and showed order. The beam moved slowly across streets and buildings, pausing briefly at areas of human ingenuity. Scientists working, soldiers coordinating, engineers repairing structures. It lingered, then withdrew without causing destruction. Elena realized the truth. The aliens were measuring humanity's creativity, courage, and resilience. Fear alone would not determine their fate. Every act of problem-solving, every moment of bravery, counted. As the night fell, the fleet gathered above the Earth in a silent formation. They had not attacked directly, but the planet trembled with the weight of their presence. Elena, Malik, and Liam knew that humanity had passed the first part of the test, but the real challenge was yet to come. And as the humans watched the black ships glimmer in the sky, a single, chilling thought ran through every mind. They are not just watching. They are judging. And what comes next may decide the fate of every living thing on Earth. The sun rose over a trembling Earth, painting the sky with colors that no one could enjoy. The alien fleet hovered silently, massive shadows stretching across continents. People whispered prayers, some cried, and others simply froze. Humanity had passed the initial observation, but now the real test was coming. Dr. Elena Vargas paced the observatory floor, her mind racing. The anomaly still pulsed, now faster than before. It seemed alive, almost like a heartbeat of the fleet. "This is no longer just watching," she said. "They are testing us directly. We have to respond, fast." Malik glanced nervously at the screens. "But how? They're not speaking in words we can understand. We don't know what they want." Elena shook her head. "We can't wait for understanding. We can only show them who we are, what humanity is capable of." Across the world, Liam Carter prepared his teams. Volunteers, soldiers, and scientists worked together to organize human activity in precise patterns. Roads were cleared, hospitals stabilized, and communication hubs set up. Every action was purposeful, every movement deliberate. They weren't just surviving, they were showing intelligence, resilience, and courage. Then it began. The first test struck without warning. A small alien vessel descended over a city in South America. Its lights pulsed like a heartbeat, scanning the streets. People panicked, but Liam's team had trained civilians to stay calm, to move in coordinated groups. The vessel's beam fired repeatedly, but only at objects, not people. It was clear. The aliens were measuring human reaction under pressure. In Europe, scientists led similar efforts. Engineers quickly rebuilt damaged communication arrays. Doctors organized triage stations. In every city, humanity worked together, proving not only survival instincts but creativity and cooperation. Back at the observatory, Elena noticed something strange. The anomaly responded to human activity, pulsing brighter when humans acted bravely or solved problems efficiently. Fear alone dimmed its light. Courage, teamwork, intelligence, these were what the aliens valued. Hours passed, and the tests grew more intense. Alien vessels fired beams near buildings, forcing humans to adapt in real time. Liam coordinated movements, rescuing trapped civilians and avoiding destruction. In the chaos, ordinary people performed extraordinary acts. A child guided a group of frightened survivors to safety. A mechanic repaired a bridge under alien light. Doctors improvised medicine with limited supplies. Humanity was learning quickly, and showing the aliens that they were more than prey. Then, Elena discovered a pattern. The anomaly seemed to respond not only to actions but to thought. Focus, determination, and cleverness amplified the pulse. "They can see our minds," she said. Malik's eyes widened. "So if we panic, they know?" Elena nodded grimly. "Exactly. We have to think clearly. Every decision matters." In New York, Liam faced a personal test. A group of civilians was trapped under a collapsed building, the alien vessel hovering above. He knew that moving too quickly could trigger destruction, but hesitation meant death for those trapped. Taking a deep breath, he made a plan, guiding his team with precision. Every move counted. Every breath was critical. And somehow, against impossible odds, they succeeded. The vessel pulsed brightly, then retreated. Humanity had survived again. By nightfall, the fleet gathered above Earth in perfect formation. Cities were intact, people were alive, and human ingenuity had been displayed for all the aliens to see. Elena watched the anomalies pulse slow to a steady rhythm. Humanity had passed the first major test, but the relief was tempered with dread. Somewhere deep in space, the alien fleet waited silently. Their purpose remained unclear, but one truth was certain: they were not done. Humanity had proven something, but the real challenge was yet to come. And this next test would demand more than courage, intelligence, or teamwork. It would demand sacrifice. And as the night sky glimmered with the silent black ships, a chilling thought ran through every human mind. We may have survived this day, but tomorrow, survival may not be enough. The morning sky was dark with alien shadows, though the sun still tried to pierce through. Humanity had survived the first test, but the atmosphere was tense. Every city, every street, every person waited, knowing the aliens were watching, analyzing, judging. Dr. Elena Vargas sat at the observatory, reviewing satellite images. The anomaly pulsed steadily, almost like a heartbeat, but faster now. It seemed to react to human activity, as if feeding on courage, intelligence, and resolve, but it also tested for something else. Something harder to measure: morality, sacrifice, and instinct to protect others. Malik leaned over her shoulder, whispering, "What are they going to do now?" Elena's eyes were fixed on the screens. "They're escalating," she said. "The first test was survival under pressure. The next, we'll see what we're willing to risk for each other." Across the globe, Liam Carter prepared teams for what was coming. Rumors of the aliens' new strategies had spread. Entire districts could be targeted, families isolated, or resources destroyed if humans hesitated. Every action, or inaction, might be observed. The first trial came swiftly. A massive alien vessel hovered over a small city in Africa. Below, thousands of people were trapped in buildings weakened by the previous tests. The ship's lights scanned the city, and suddenly, barriers of energy blocked certain streets. Civilians were split into groups, some safe, others in danger. Liam coordinated from a nearby command center, his heart pounding. Every choice he made could cost lives. Elena noticed the anomaly's reaction. It pulsed brightly when humans tried to save as many as possible, dimmed when people panicked, and flickered strangely when tough moral choices were made. Humanity was being judged not just for courage, but for compassion, for decision-making under impossible pressure. In Europe, similar scenes unfolded. A hospital had collapsed partially under alien energy tests. Doctors had to decide: save a large number of patients in stable condition, or risk going after critically injured people whose chances were slim. Some chose to risk it. Others hesitated. The anomaly pulsed differently over each city, as if recording the value of every decision. In New York, Liam faced his toughest choice. Two groups of civilians were trapped in different areas. Rescue efforts could save one group safely, but the other might be lost if he moved resources. He gritted his teeth and shouted orders, choosing to split teams despite the risk. The alien's beam swept across the city as if to test his decision. Miraculously, both groups survived, but only just. The pulse on Elena's screen grew intense, almost overwhelming. Humanity had passed another challenge, but the cost was clear: nothing came without risk. Meanwhile, ordinary citizens revealed extraordinary bravery. A teenager guided neighbors through rubble to safety. A farmer used old machinery to block alien scanning beams from destroying homes. Small acts of courage and sacrifice multiplied across continents, showing the aliens that humanity's value was more than strength. It was resilience, morality, and the will to protect each other. By evening, the alien fleet withdrew slightly, hovering just above the Earth's atmosphere. The anomaly's pulse slowed, steadying into a rhythm that suggested observation, not attack. Humanity had survived again, but the cost was written in exhausted faces, damaged cities, and hearts heavy with the knowledge that each life was precious. Elena turned to Malik. "They're testing more than survival," she said quietly. "They want to know if we are worth keeping, if we are truly capable of greatness." Malik nodded, swallowing hard. "And the next test?" he asked. Elena's eyes narrowed. "It will demand more than courage, intelligence, or teamwork. It will demand choice. And some will have to decide between themselves and the survival of others." As night fell, the alien fleet gathered in formation above Earth. A new, darker energy pulsed from their ships, almost as if the planet itself was breathing under their watch. Humanity had proven something, but the aliens' final judgments had not yet begun. And deep in the observatory, Elena whispered to herself, "We can survive. We can fight. But are we ready to sacrifice everything for the chance to survive together?" The sky was darker than night, not from clouds, but from the alien fleet. Ships covered every horizon, their black hulls blotting out the sun and moon. The hum of energy pulsed across the earth, vibrating through the ground, water, and even bones. Cities across the world were tense, silent, waiting. Humanity's greatest trial had begun. Dr. Elena Vargas and Malik worked tirelessly in the observatory, tracking every movement. The anomaly's pulse had reached a new rhythm, fast, chaotic, almost alive. Every human action, every thought, every decision, was reflected in the flickering patterns on their screens. Elena's voice was steady, though her heart raced. "This isn't just a test of courage or intelligence anymore. This is survival on a global scale. Everything we've done, it all counts now." From New York to Tokyo, Liam Carter coordinated emergency efforts. Communication hubs, medical stations, rescue teams, everything had to operate perfectly, or countless lives would be lost. Unlike previous tests, this one wasn't isolated to a single city or region. It was everywhere, all at once. The aliens weren't just observing, they were forcing humanity to respond as one. The first wave hit in South America. A massive energy pulse swept across several countries, toppling buildings and flooding streets. Civilians fled, soldiers and volunteers acted, but the scale was overwhelming. Liam's team used drones, boats, and vehicles to rescue trapped citizens, all while avoiding the scanning beams. Coordination had to be precise. One wrong move could trigger destruction. Elena noticed the anomaly reacting differently than before. The energy pulses synchronized with human actions. Success made the anomaly flicker brighter, mistakes dimmed it. It was as if the aliens were amplifying the stakes, feeding on the tension. Humanity was alive, but every error had consequences. Meanwhile, across Europe and Asia, humans displayed ingenuity. Engineers repurposed satellites to redirect alien energy pulses. Scientists coordinated hospitals to handle mass casualties efficiently. Ordinary people improvised, barricaded, and rescued. Every act of cleverness, bravery, and teamwork mattered more than ever. Then came the moral element of the trial. Alien ships isolated regions with collapsing buildings or flooding streets. Humans could save some areas fully but would have to abandon others to survive. Leaders like Liam had to make impossible decisions. In one moment, a team of rescuers saved hundreds from a sinking city, leaving another city exposed. Elena watched the anomaly pulse violently. The aliens weren't just measuring skill, they were measuring value judgments, ethics, and priorities under extreme pressure. In New York, Liam faced his toughest decision yet. 2 bridges were about to collapse under alien energy. One bridge held civilians, the other, a critical communication hub that could save thousands more. He had to choose. Sweat poured down his face. He gave orders to save the communication hub first, while sending a smaller team to evacuate civilians. The bridges trembled, beams of alien energy crackling above. Every second felt like eternity. Miraculously, both groups survived, though just barely. Elena realized that humanity had passed the most critical part of the trial. Thinking collectively under pressure, acting ethically, and finding solutions where none seemed possible. The anomaly pulsed brighter than ever, almost like a heartbeat of approval. But the aliens were not finished. Above Earth, the fleet gathered in massive formation, pulsating energy across the planet. It was clear. The final judgment was near. Humanity had survived, proven intelligence, courage, compassion, and creativity, but the ultimate challenge remained. The aliens were testing not only survival, but whether humans could operate as a species united against impossible odds. As night fell, a massive, dark shadow loomed over the observatory. Elena, Malik, and Liam watched in awe and fear. A message appeared in the anomaly: "You have endured. You have learned. But your final worth will be decided in the moments you do not yet know. Prepare." And across Earth, every human being felt it, the pulse of a galaxy judging their species. It was not just survival that mattered now. It was unity, courage, and the willingness to rise above fear, chaos, and death itself. For humanity, the next few hours would decide everything. The night was thick and heavy. Above Earth, the alien fleet formed an immense, black canopy, its ships glowing faintly with energy. The anomaly pulsed in the observatory, faster than ever, as if the planet itself was holding its breath. Humanity had endured every test, but now the final judgment was here. Dr. Elena Vargas, Malik, and Liam Carter stood together, staring at the screens. Cities around the world were tense. Rescue teams, scientists, and civilians waited for the next move. The alien message had been clear. Prepare. No instructions. No warnings. Only anticipation. Suddenly, beams of energy shot down across the globe, but this time, they did not strike buildings. They hovered, scanning, probing, testing. Humanity's response had to be precise, coordinated, and innovative. Mistakes could mean extinction. Liam gave orders calmly but firmly. Teams of volunteers and soldiers moved across cities, rescuing trapped people, redirecting energy beams with improvised shields, and coordinating evacuation routes. Across continents, humanity acted as one organism, each person contributing their skill to the collective effort. Elena studied the anomaly closely. The pulses synced with human thought, almost as if the fleet could see minds as clearly as actions. Every moment of ingenuity, every act of courage, every selfless decision amplified the pulse. Humanity was proving that it could think, adapt, and cooperate on an unprecedented scale. Then the true test began. Alien ships created a massive energy barrier around the planet, isolating regions. People were forced to make impossible choices: save a group of civilians in danger or protect critical infrastructure that could save thousands more. Liam made split-second decisions, guiding his teams with calm precision. Across the globe, similar acts unfolded. Fear and hesitation were deadly, but courage and intelligence shone brightest. In the observatory, Elena realized the final key. The aliens weren't just testing survival or intelligence, they were testing the spirit of humanity: ingenuity, courage, morality, and unity. Humanity's worth was not measured by individual strength, but by the collective ability to rise above fear and chaos. As hours passed, humans continued to adapt. Ordinary people performed extraordinary acts. A teacher guided students to safety through collapsing streets. Engineers rerouted energy beams with improvised technology. Families worked together to rescue neighbors. Humanity's creativity and selflessness resonated through the anomaly, which pulsed brighter than ever, as if acknowledging every heroic effort. Then, a moment of silence. The energy beams paused, hovering above the Earth. The entire world held its breath. Elena, Malik, and Liam stared at the screens, hearts pounding. The ships above shimmered, then slowly began to retreat, forming an immense spiral in the sky. A final message appeared in the anomaly, simple but profound: "You are worthy." The tension broke. Cities erupted in cautious celebration. People wept with relief. Across the globe, humanity had proven itself, not just as survivors, but as a species capable of courage, intelligence, morality, and unity in the face of impossible odds. Elena whispered, almost in disbelief. We did it. They judged us, and we passed." Malik smiled, tears in his eyes. They saw what we are capable of. Liam looked at the night sky, the black ships now receding into the stars. We survived, because we stood together. The alien fleet vanished, leaving Earth silent, but no longer fearful. Humanity had faced the judgment of the galaxy and emerged stronger, wiser, and united. For the first time, people realized that survival was not enough. It was the spirit, the courage to rise together against impossible odds, that made them truly worthy. And as dawn broke over a shaken but alive Earth, Elena knew one thing. Humanity had been tested, and for the first time, they had earned their place in the galaxy.